Hey, you guys. Good morning. Happy Martin Luther King. Let me know what you're doing today. Are you working? Are you off? Are you watching the president get sworn in? Um, I don't know. And if you are over on my podcast, most likely that's already happened like last week or maybe even 2 weeks ago. So let me know where you were. Were you watching it? I want to know. It's interesting. My daughter and I were talking about um, as she has school off and she wanted access to her teachers and they were off. And she was like, gosh, that would be nice when like we are off and then we have access to teachers because life gets so busy when we're either all working or we're all not working. I'm like, good point. But that's just not the way it works, right? Holiday's a holiday and it's a holiday for many people in a lot of the industries. For those of us that are just a little bit more entrepreneurial or life is just life, we don't have this day off, or I guess we could choose to take this day off, right? I wanted to come to you guys today because here we are moving through January. So it's actually January 20th. And I was just sharing with my husband last night that I am more fired up than ever about my health. How about you guys? What is this 2025 bringing out in you? It's kind of what I want to know. Like, is it bringing out like excitement and focus and clarity? Or is it bringing out like doom and gloom and, oh God, another year? I'm not following my goals. I've already given up, right? I don't know. What is it for you? Drop a one if you're like, yes, I am still on my goals. Let me know. Right? So some of you guys are like, this is it. This is the year. I'm in. Or something just clicked, right? Has something just clicked for you? Like, yes. So others of you are like, oh gosh, what has already happened? How have I not gotten with it? Last week, I was talking to somebody, and it was like January 13th, and they hadn't started anything yet. And if you look at statistics already, that was 3.5% of the year. If in the first 2 weeks of the year you hadn't done anything. And when you think about it in percentage, it's like, oh, we can't really make time back up again. So we better get to work like now, right? Like, let's get to work now. So, um, who has out there's already like, haven't started, or I've forgotten about it, or I need to get back on track? Throw a two down in the comments, right? How many twos do we have out there? I don't know, you guys. Maybe a lot of twos. Well, I wanted to share with you my experience as a midlife woman who it's kind of weird to even say midlife. Like, what is that? But I guess if I'm 52 and I say the middle of my life, am I going to live to 104? Maybe, right? Like, I don't know. My husband's thinking 120. I don't know. I think 104 is plenty. I don't know. How old do you want to live till? I think we can all agree that we want to live well until that day, that age, right? None of us want to live, you know, 80 to 104 sick. Like that's no good. Who wants to be like sick? No. So then, therefore, what we're doing today matters, right? What we're doing today absolutely matters. So this is how I want you guys to think about some things. We've now known, okay, and it's proven that muscle is the organ of longevity, that we absolutely, it is essential that we keep the muscle mass we have. And speaking as a woman, every single decade, we are losing significant amounts of muscle mass. So if we're not combating that, then we're asking to be weak and frail as we're getting older. 100%. And we've seen it. You see little old ladies, right? Older, frail, falling, breaking hips. And it doesn't have to be that way. So again, with my background as a physical therapist, I should absolutely like know better about lifting weights. When I was in high school and I was an athlete, I lifted and I had a program and I followed it. The whole team did. But somehow in my after high school years, which has been a really long time, um, I love running. So I started getting into running and I kind of ditched everything else. There was a time that I did a lot of classes and exercise classes when that was in vogue. And then in my, later 30s, then I started actually getting into triathlons, and in my 30s and my 40s. But I mean, that's like long hours of endurance training, cycling, running, swimming. So I didn't build in any weightlifting, like zero. Um, and I realized I was stressing my body way too much. And it was like, ooh, that's when you're entering your mid 40s. And it's like, ooh, I could end up with, adrenal fatigue, autoimmune, just like cortisol through the roof. So I needed to check myself. And that's what I've done the last 10 years is looked at how can I get an ultimate health. So for me, I stopped all that. Like, that's not serving me. If anything, that's wrecking my body. That's not okay. So I had to like let it all go. So then I was like, okay, what am I going to do? Running is my jam. It's like my moving meditation. So I've never stopped running. But I took my running from running daily to running, 10, 12 miles on the weekends and 6 miles every day to then like 3 or 4 miles, during the week and maybe 6 miles on the weekend. And now today, well, I'll tell you, the month of January, I haven't run at all because it's been snowing and freezing and icy. And I used to freak out if I didn't get in my run. And I'm like, it's okay. I have other things. But normally I run 2 days a week, 3 miles, sometimes 3 days a week, 3 miles. And that's about it because I love it. The other things I do is I put in yoga, right? I want to have decreased stress release and really work hard in my balance, endurance, core, focus. It's given me flexibility, strength I didn't know I could have. And I've always, for the past couple years, said, I want to lift more weights. I want to get stronger. And I have done some programs, but the programs I've done have been like these metabolic resets and HIIT trainings. I haven't just lifted weights. And here's the truth that I'm being really honest. I'm like, I would, do your set and then I would do like running in place and then do another lift set and do something like, I'm like, no, I need to focus on lifting weights. And I just kind of thought like, it's a waste of time. Or like, do I really need to like, I don't know, bulk up? I don't know. I think I grew up in the day and age where women lifting weights, I know I wouldn't get like huge and heavy. Like that wasn't my thing. But I was just like, it wasn't where I enjoyed my time. And now that I realized it is essential for me, and I have been on a program to lean down, and I've been taking a natural, it's called the mind body GLP-1 system. You probably heard me talk about it because I want to optimize my neuroprotection, my neuroplasticity, my brain, my cardiovascular health. I want to support my bones. I want to shrink and lose body fat and visceral fat because that is the dangerous fat. So I have, which is fantastic. But what has helped me, and I've seen the biggest change ever in the last 3 weeks, let me tell you why. So if you've been staying with me, and thank you if you are, let me tell you why. The last 3 weeks, I have lifted weights religiously now, 3 days a week. I lifted this morning and I got so fired up because I was like exhausted after my 30-minute program of lifting. That's all I'm doing is lifting. And then like 5 minutes of stretching at the end. Then I went to walk the dogs and I was like, oh my God, I feel stronger than ever. And I don't know for you as a woman, if you've really felt when your body has feels like strong and like, I can do it. Yes. I've always said like, oh, I can do anything. I used to wrestle with my kids. And been like, you can't beat mom. I got this. But I realized that when I used to start to still wrestle or do some like, even like wrestle with my husband or whatever, I would like hurt my elbow or my back or like, that's not cool. Like, that's not okay. Right. And so I was like, I need to get stronger. Holy cow. I by upping my muscle mass and getting a little bit more defined, and it's defined, it's not. And so what happens is the area around my muscle gets firmer, tauter. So it looks like my muscles are, like everyone always like, Kellie, your arms are rocking. But when you shrink fat, your muscles are going to be more defined. And when you lift weights, the strength, your muscle mass burns way more calories and fat. So this isn't to talk about weight loss, you guys. This is to talk about women, midlife women. You hear all these people about you need to lift weights and longevity. And I even heard that, right? As a physical therapist and as a woman's health coach, I tell people you need to lift, but I wasn't lifting seriously. And I always, and what I do, want to walk the talk, right? I don't say like, do this, and I don't. No, do what I do, right? I want to be a role model for you out there that you're listening and watching and that you're capable. And so when people say, like, oh, you just have good genes, you guys, that's BS. I don't have good genes. I've done my genetics. I know I work hard. And when I say hard, I've just made a decision. So it's actually not hard. It's just a life decision. And for me, they're non-negotiables. So you just have to say, am I serious about it? Do I want it to be a non-negotiable? How do I want to feel today? And how do I want to feel in a year and 5 years and 20 years? So I've been fired up about lifting. Now, I will be honest, I don't necessarily want to go to a gym with all of these people. We've got some weights at the house. My husband has some weights. And so I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. Do you need to figure it out? I know what I should be doing again with my background in physical therapy, but I haven't done it in so long. I was like, I want to make sure I'm doing the proper form and I want to make sure, I'm lifting, enough. And so I found someone that I'm following online. I actually watch her YouTube series and it's so good. Like so good. So I wanted to tell you guys is where are you ladies with your lifting? Are you kind of like, like I'd rather go to yoga and look, wear my cute Lulus. I like to wear my cute stuff and go to yoga, and I do. But you need to prioritize getting strength in your life. After 40, ladies, it sucks for us. We're losing muscle mass left, right, and center. You guys ever played that game, left, right, center? It's actually pretty fun. So it is no longer, my quote over and over again is, it is no longer an option to take control of your health. It is essential. It's essential to take control of your health. Like a must, number one, do it, make it non-negotiable. So what are your non-negotiables? So for me, no matter what, 3 days a week, no matter what, I'm doing my lifting program, period. And it feels so good. The first week I was like, the second week I was like, oh, and this third and fourth week, I'm just like, yeah, bring it on, baby. So I just encourage you to like explore, have fun. I don't just mean longevity, but I mean, if you want to support your cardiovascular health, your brain health, like throw away that statin that they're putting you on, throw away that injection that you're currently taking. You can get your body to start producing things again. Now, I take some products that activate my body to make even more, but it's like, how do we turn the body back to work? And every pharmaceutical that you go on just shuts the body off and says, we'll do it for you, right? We're the Band-Aid. We'll do it for you. Take a rest. We got you. Until they don't. And you need more medication or you've gained more weight back. I don't know what it is. So my message to you guys is go find a simple way you can build in lifting and lift heavy, ladies. And it could be a 10-minute workout. I know in my membership, we have a portal for fitness and there is a kettlebell workout that literally takes 10 minutes. I was doing that before I was doing this other lifting program that I'm following on YouTube. So get in, like fit what fits in your lifestyle and where you want to get started. Because sometimes starting too big, too much, it's like, oh, no. I don't think so. It's too much for me. So we got to start where you're at. But what I encourage you to do is start. So if you have a program that you love, okay, that you follow, drop it in the comments below. We need to share with more and more women, like, what are the resources that you're using? Where are you finding them? Are you on YouTube? Are you following somebody on Instagram? Are you in somebody's program? I don't know what that is, but there's a lot of resources out there. Some are paid, some are free. Find what it is for you and decide, right? Make it a non-negotiable and just decide. So you guys, it's kind of like my journey. I don't know. And I'm sure things will ebb and flow. I'll be honest, right? Like we all like, oh my gosh, sometimes things are hard. Yeah, it's okay. And then we get back on track. That's the thing. If you kind of like veer off a little bit, that's okay. Just come back. Don't just keep veering, keep veering, keep veering. You're so far off in left field. You're like, forget about it. I'll wait till next year. Because every day is a new day to start. And so I want you to say, today is my day to start. So again, if you're here on social, please drop your favorite resources for strength training and lifting and getting stronger. And if you're listening to the podcast, we're going to drop down in the show notes some of my favorites and or an opportunity to jump into our membership, which has a portal of information of lifting and programs for you there as well. So you guys, hey, I always hope it was helpful. I always hope you have fun. Again, let me know, were you watching the inauguration today? Were you at work? Where are you? Where are you coming in from? And specifically, if you're lifting, if you're doing a program, who's it through? Is it paid? Is it free? Would you recommend it to others? And let's share our resources. All right, you guys, until another week, have a great, great day and a great, great week.